Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Flagler Gymnasium on the campus of Flagler College for this afternoon's men's basketball game, the second game of our doubleheader between the visiting Columbus State Cougars and your Flagler College Saints. The Peach Belt Conference promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for immediate removal. Thank you for your continued support of Flagler College Athletics and the Peach Belt Conference. Also, we'd like to thank Tijuana Flats tonight for sponsoring today's doubleheader games. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention over here to the scores table and welcome a student athlete from Flagler and Columbus State for the game environment statement.
Welcome to tonight's Peach Belt Conference basketball game between Columbus State University Cougars and Flagler College Saints. We see this basketball court as an extension of our classroom environment where we learn dignity and respect for others.
Today we ask for your enthusiastic support of your respective team. We also ask that you support the student athletes from both our institutions by honoring our request to treat all fans, officials, coaches, and student athletes with respect.
This afternoon, the Columbus State University Cougars are in St. Augustine, Florida to take on the Flagler College Saints. Hi again, everyone. Scott Miller courtside inside the Flagler College Gymnasium here on the campus of Flagler College in the beautiful city of St. Augustine, Florida, the nation's oldest city and one of the great historical cities and venues around. And CSU comes in here with a record of 8-7 in the Peach Belt. Flagler's right behind us at 7-8. Overall, CSU is 13-10, and Flagler is 11-12. Flagler and CSU played in Columbus at the Lumpkin Center, Herbert Green Court, back in January, and CSU won that one 95-74. A little earlier, I had a chance to talk with CSU coach Robert Moore. Joining us here at courtside at Flagler College is CSU coach Robert Moore. His Cougars get set to take on the Saints here today. And another Saturday in the Peach Belt and another tough place to play.
Oh, yeah. Flagler's always been a tough place to play. They only lost 3 in a row. They're desperate. We let one get away at home on Wednesday night. So it's going to be a big game, Scott. I think if we can guard the three-point line because they got great three-point shooters, I like our chances.
Well, that's one of the challenges. What other challenges do they present?
Always, we got to rebound the basketball, and we got to make sure we take care of the basketball and don't turn it over. We got to get some points in transition, get some points off our defense. But, you know, like I said, Flagler is one of those teams that's right in the hunt with us for playoff spots, so it should be a great game.
Well, now as we start getting close to the end of the regular season, a big thing that you want to focus on is just simply improving this team. Don't worry about the standings. Don't worry where you are. Just get better and get ready for tournament play.
Yeah, I like our guys' attitude after the North Georgia game. I think everybody in the locker room was hurt, but we went to practice the next day, got better, really concentrated on some things that we did bad in that game. Our spacing was bad on offense, and we didn't screen like we should have. And then defensively, we missed so many rotations in the North Georgia game, and we really emphasized that the last 2 days. So I think if our guys come in with that focus and making sure they don't make those mistakes, we got a great chance of winning.
All right, Robert, good luck.
All right, thank you, Scott.
All right, Coach Robert Moore, the Columbus State, as the starting lineups are being introduced here at the Flagler College Gymnasium. They have a pretty good crowd on hand here for a cloudy and cool afternoon at St. Augustine this morning. It was a beautiful morning, blue sky and a little cool for this time of year here, but very pleasant, and we've had some more clouds roll in here this afternoon. Last night it was cloudy and drizzly, and it was really windy, and had a lot of people out on Valentine's night in the historic district, and you had to really bundle up because that wind chill made it a little dicey here in northern Florida. Cougars will go with their usual starting lineup. Jalen Thomas, Bryant Gibbons, Cam Paulding, Zay Horton, and Anthony Moore. And the Saints go with their usual starting five: Demerit Brown, Derek Ellis Jr., Alante Pickens, Getty Ewers-Zapaitis, and Chris Metzger. Again, we beat these guys in Columbus 95-74, and Anthony Moore had 19 points on that night. Chris Old School Horton had 17 coming off the bench with 5 three-point field goals, but he is not on the trip because he rolled his ankle in Wednesday night's game. And so Chris is out today. Hopefully we'll have him back on Wednesday when Clayton State comes in. And it was Pickens had 15 points, and Ewers-Zapaitis had 14 to lead the Saints back in January 18th at Herbert Green Court at CSU for an easy CSU victory there. We'll see what happens today as we come down the stretch here with just 5 more games remaining in the regular season. We're at home on Wednesday night when Clayton State comes in. 5:30 for the women, 7:30 for the men. The women won in overtime here today, 84-75. All right, Flagler's all in white, trimmed in red. Cougars in red, trimmed in blue and white. And CSU will go to the basket to your left. We thank you all for tuning in here on Cougar Sports TV all over the world. And the tap is controlled by the Saints, and we are underway. I am right next to the CSU bench here on the scorer's table. Get the ball over on the left wing to Ellis Jr. Up top to Pickens. Back to Ellis down the left side of the lane. Kicked it out on the wing to Ewers-Zapaitis, and he got in the paint and traveled. Getty Ewers-Zapaitis out of London, England. So a turnover on the Saints' first possession. JT into the front court. Anthony Moore. Mid-range 2 on the right side, no good, and the rebound goes to Ewers-Zapaitis. Into the front court, behind the arc on the right side. Kick it out to Ewers-Zapaitis up top. Get it to big Chris Metzger at the head of the key. He puts it on the floor, hands it back to Ewers-Zapaitis. 10 on the shot clock, back to Metzger down low, off the glass, good. Flagler with the first points of the game. And big Chris Metzger, 6'7", 220-pounder out of Plantation, Florida. Bryant Gibbons drives the baseline in the paint, kicks it back to Anthony Moore. Jumper just inside the elbow on the right side is good. Anthony Moore with the jumper to tie the game. Bounce pass into the paint. Ellis missed the layup, and the rebound goes to JT. Well, they were wide open, and he just missed it. Bryant Gibbons for three. No good. And knocked out of bounds by the Saints. BG missed the three on the left wing. Gets it to Anthony Moore. BG left wing. Bounce pass to Zay Horton. Zay, fade away, baseline, good. Rolled around 2 times and dropped in. Zay Horton puts the Cougars on top. 4-2. Behind the arc on the right side is Ellis. Ellis to the head of the key. Kicks it on the right wing. Brown. A long three at the head of the key. No good from Pickens. Rebound CSU. Bryant Gibbons drives into the paint. Kicks it out to Zay Horton in the corner for three. Shot it long. Rebound Flagler. Ellis to UR Zapaitis. Right elbow. Picks it up. Try to get it to Metzger down there. Bad pass. Turnover. CSU back the other way. Bryant Gibbons flying to the hoop. Kicks it to Anthony Moore. His shot is blocked out on the wing, and Zay Horton recovers it. At times, I will be blocked completely by Coach Moore here today. JT, free throw line jumper, no. Anthony Moore tapped it into the backcourt, and Cam Paulding hustled to run it down. And we got a whistle with the official here. The shot clock. They reset the shot clock, and they shouldn't have, so it's 18 seconds on the shot clock. Zay Horton right in front of me. Will get it in to Bryant Gibbons. For those of you fans playing along at home or running the play Gator. Let's see if it's a good one here in Florida. It's very appropriate, I guess. Head of the key, Anthony Moore. Cam Paulding up top. Zay Horton head of the key, and we've got a foul away from the basketball, or a 3-second violation. One of the two. It's a foul on Bryant Gibbons. Moving screen. And so, turnover. Cougars up 4-2 on the Saints. 16:25 to play here in the first half. Ellis, left elbow, puts it on the floor. Gets it up to Brown. Brown reverses it to UR Zapaitis. Anthony Moore is on him. UR Zapaitis for three. Shot it long. Long rebound, Zay Horton. 2 on 3. Zay will get it down to Cam Paulding. Low block left side. They take it away from Cam. Metzger did to Ellis into the front court. Ellis kicks it down into the right corner. Brown driving in the paint. Brown, jumper, no good. And the rebound, Cam Paulding, I think. Again, I'm just totally blocked by Coach Moore. That's okay. His job is more important than mine. A runner in the lane by Bryant Gibbons is good. And it's 6-2 CSU. UR Zapaitis near the jump circle. Gets it over on the right wing to Brown. Metzger. Ellis way over on the left side. Up top, head of the key. A three on the left wing is no good. Cam Paulding with the rebound on the miss from Pickens. JT in the front court. JT pulls it out. Anthony Moore. Bryant Gibbons. Head of the key. BG. Zay Horton. Anthony Moore. Short corner jumper. Good on the left side. Anthony Moore. And the Cougars off to an 8-2 start here. 14:43 on the clock in the first half. Pass is stolen by Anthony Moore on the wing. And Anthony's fouled as he was about to be off to the races. That'll get us to a media timeout. 14:35 to play in the first half. Cougars off to a good start, leading it 8-2 here at Flagler. Columbus State University Cougar basketball is sponsored by Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU's Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. Cougar basketball on Cougar Sports TV. So the Cougars off to a good start here. Leading at 8-2 in the first media timeout, 14:35 to play. We've got Babe back in Columbus. Baseball, softball, and tennis going on today. So a busy weekend back home. CSU with the ball. Gets it into Bryant Gibbons. Behind the arc on the right side. BG trying to get it to Hunter Preston on the baseline. Off his hands and out of bounds. So Hunter Preston and Stanley Taylor checked in during the timeout. Zay, JT, and BG stayed out there. Ewers Zapaitis between the circles. And Bryant Gibbons stole the ball. He's got two back, though, on him. Can't get in. Kicks it out to Zay. Up top for three. Short. Rebound Stanley Taylor, though. Tay kept it alive. JT, short corner jumper, no. Zay Horton with a rebound, yes. So the Cougars hammering the glass here in the early going. And it's 10-2. CSU is on a 10-0 run now. 13:48 left in the half. Metzger ahead of the key. Ewers Zapaitis for three, short on the left wing. Tay with a rebound. Stanley Taylor dribbles out, gets it to Bryant Gibbons. BG, bounce pass. Hunter Preston kicks it back out to Stanley Taylor for three, short. Hunter Preston a long rebound, out to JT. Coach Moore would play instructions for the point guard, Bryant Gibbons. Out of South Bend, Indiana. BG takes a three and misses it on the left wing. Rebound, Flagler. Slim got the rebound. Lawrence Slim. And he is. There's a three, air ball, and out of bounds by Pickens. Carl Ivy checks in. Jalen Thomas comes out. Of the game, CSU on a 10-0 run with the ball. Carl Ivy head of the key. Stanley Taylor up top. Zay Horton, Carl Ivy, BG, Hunter Preston head of the key, 9 seconds. Hunter Preston, 6 seconds. BG takes a look at the clock. BG free throw line jumper is no good. He got his own long rebound, though. Got it to Hunter Preston and kicks it back out to BG on the wing. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Carl Ivy, left wing. Carl gets it to Zay Horton. Drives into the paint. A hook shot, good. What a shot by Zay Horton. Zay off to the great start. 12-0 run. 12-2 CSU. Get it down off the glass and good. Hadzak with the jumper. And it's 12-4. So that breaks the 12-0 run for CSU. 11:51 to play in the first half. Hunter Preston head of the key. Carl Ivy up top. Bryant Gibbons in the key. Zay Horton, left corner. Zay drives, spins. Stanley Taylor, 5 on the shot clock. 3, Zay, fadeaway in the corner. No, just a little long. It was right on line, but just a little long. Flagler got the rebound. Into the front court, Ellis. Kicks it over on the wing to Brown. Slim driving into the paint. Kicks it back over to Hadzak. Hadzak had it knocked away in the paint by Tay, but he got it back And he put it up. Oh, and it fell off the rim. No good. Rebound, Hunter Preston. Into the front court. Brian Gibbons, pass deflected, but Stanley Taylor able to corral it. Turnaround jump hook off the glass, no good. Rebound, Saints. JT goes back to the scorer's table. Ellis, Devin Porter Wilson goes to the scorer's table for the first time today. Brown spinning against Carl Ivy, lost the handle, picked up by Stanley Taylor. BG into the front court. BG turned it over, palmed it. That'll get us to a media timeout. Good start for the Cougars, up 12-4 with 10:31 to play in the first half here in Flagler. Columbus State University Cougar basketball is sponsored by Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU's Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. Cougar basketball on Cougar Sports TV. So here in St. Augustine, the Columbus State men's basketball team up 12-4 over Flagler. 10:31 left in the first half. Back in Columbus, good news from Ragsdale Field, Burger King Stadium, as the CSU baseball team has defeated North Carolina Pembroke 11-6. And the Cougars have taken the first two games of the three-game set. They go for a sweep tomorrow. Coach Greg Appleton's baseball team off to a great start. All right, up top, down in the corner. Get it down on the low block. Shot is up and in by Tyler Collier. 12-6. Anthony Moore and Cam Paulding go back to the scorer's table for CSU. JT, Devin Porter Wilson. Gets it back over to JT on the right wing. Hunter Preston, Zay Horton up top. Devin Porter Wilson for three. Yes, sir! DP with the three. 15-6. Cougars on top. That's our first long one of the afternoon. First long one of the game. Turn, spins, low block in the paint, no good by Collier. Rebound, Hunter Preston. Out to Carl Ivy for three, yes! Carl Ivy hit the three-pointer on the right wing. And the Cougars lead it 18-6. They have come out with a lot of energy, playing hard, making some shots. A three, no good on the wing. And they got a rebound. Collier did a long one out around the free throw line. Ewers Zapaitis with the ball. Gets it to Collier. High post, left side. Backdoor cut. They can't get the ball there. They get it out to Hadzik. And he drives and is fouled in the paint and will be on the shot. And the foul on Devin Porter Wilson. His first. And the first one is up and good by Hadzik. 18-7. All right, we've got Zay Horton and Hunter Preston out for a breather. Cam Paulding, Anthony Moore back in. And the second free throw is also good. 18-8. Cougars on top, 8:38 to play here in the first half. Anthony Moore driving, lost the handle, got it back, gives it to JT. He fumbled, he gets it back. Coach Moore with the play instructions right in front of me. JT goes to the hoop, puts the shot up, no, but he drew the foul. He got hammered, and he'll go to the line to shoot a couple. Foul was on Pickens. And JT will go to the line. And the first free throw is no good. And the second one is also no good. So he missed them both, and Flagler got the rebound. Down in the left corner. Can't get in. Pickens. Up top is Hadzik. Back to Pickens on the left wing. Pickens a drive. Bounce pass through the paint. Right to the corner to Brown. Out on the wing to Collier for three. Good. 18-11 Cougars. 7:47 to play here in the first half. Carl Ivy, free throw line jumper, good. 20-11. So the youngster out of Columbus High School has his shot going today. He's been a great weapon coming off the bench for us this year. Behind the arc on the left side is Ellis. Ellis kicks it over. Down in the corner, that is Pickens. Baseline drive. And a foul on the floor on CSU on the drive. And Devin Porter Wilson called for that foul. That'll get us to a media timeout with 7:14 to play in the first half. Cougars up 20-11 here at Flagler. Columbus State University Cougar basketball is sponsored by Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU's Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. Cougar basketball on Cougar Sports TV. Cougars up 20-11, 7:14 to play in the first half. CSU 9 of 21 from the floor, 42%. The Saints 4 of 14, 28%. They're 1 of 7 from behind the arc. We're 2 of 8. We are out rebounding now, 16-7. And Flagler with the ball, trying to get it in, and the pass is deflected into the hands of Anthony Moore to Jalen Thomas. JT between the circles. Carl Ivy, a long three, not this time. Rebound, Flagler. Into the front court, Pickens. Pickens gets it down, a baseline drive by Hadzik is no good, but he's fouled on the short jumper. Foul was on Anthony Moore, his first. And that's going to send Hadzik to the line. Shooting 2, and the first one is good. He's 3 for 3 at the line, 20-12. CSU on top. And the next one is also good. 20-13. Cougars 6:45 left in what's been a good first half so far. Need to finish it. Bryant Gibbons goes back to the scores table. Zay Horton behind the arc on the right side. Zay, a baseline runner, is no good. Rebound tipped out into the hands of UR Zapaitis. He gets it to Ellis. Ellis, a floater in the lane, good. 20-15. Cougar lead is down to 5. Biggest lead was 12, I believe. It was. And ball, a drive down the right side of the lane. Zay Horton knocked out of his hands, and he touched it last. Will belong to the Saints.
25. Make no fault on defense.
Cougars led 18-6, but it's 20-15 now. The Saints have battled back to within 5 with 5:53 to play. Hadzik behind the arc on the right side. Great defense by Cam Paulding. Poked away a post-entry pass in the Bryant Gibbons hands to Zay Horton. Kicks it out. Carl Ivey, a long three. No. And rebound Saints. Stanley Taylor goes to the scores table. Ellis at the right elbow. Dribbles to the left elbow. Out behind the left arc. Up top. Brown kicks it back to Ellis. Ellis gets it down to Big Metzger. Mid-post against Cam Paulding. Post him up in the lane. A little jump hook. No. Got it back and scored. Metzger with 4 points. And the Saints, who are down by 12, now trail by 3 with 4:57 to play in the first half. Zay Horton at the head of the key. Bryant Gibbons behind the arc on the right side. Carl Ivey. Anthony Moore, short corner jumper, in and out, no good. Left side, rebound, UR Zapaitis. So the Saints into the front court. Great interception of a post-entry pass by Cam Paulding. Bryant Gibbons gives it to Carl Ivey. Back to Bryant Gibbons for 3. Yes. BG with the three-pointer. And it's 23-17 Cougars. 4:13 left in the half. Between the circles. Bryant Gibbons got a hand on the ball, tried to steal it, and he did. To Anthony Moore, who got it back to BG, back to Anthony, to Zay Horton, to 17. Great transition bucket ending in the slam by Zay. The timeout will turn into a media timeout, and we'll take it here on Cougar Sports TV. Columbus State University Cougar basketball is sponsored by Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU's Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. Cougar basketball on Cougar Sports TV. So the Cougars up 25-17, 3:56 to play here in the first half at Flagler. Fans, don't forget the CSU Athletics Department hosting its annual golf ball drop on Friday, May 1st at the Country Club of Columbus. Tickets cost just $20 for the chance of winning $3,000. Only 1,000 tickets are being sold, and you can get them inside the Athletic Department offices in the Lumpkin Center. Yours Zapaitis down in the corner. Cam Paulding got a hand on a three-point attempt. into the hands of CSU in the paint. Back the other way. Stanley Taylor with the three. No. Zay Horton with a rebound, and he's fouled. Zay Horton very active here in the first half. Zay and his teammates wanted the foul to be on the shot. They don't get that. Cam Paulding gets it. Jumper outside of the lane, down low, no good. Rebound Saints with 3:23 left in the half. Down the left side of the lane. We cut the drive off. Zay Horton got a hand on the ball, knocked it loose, but it's picked up by Brown. He kicks it down into the corner for three. Good. Pickens. Well, that's bad luck right there for CSU. 25-20 Cougars. Bryant Gibbons answers with a three. Yes, sir. Bryant Gibbons with a quick answer to get that three right back. The head of the key. 28-20. BG has two long ones today. Down on the low block, they get it to Metzger, and he lays it up and in. Nice little feed of Metzger. 28-22. CSU with the ball with 2.5 minutes left in the first half here at Flagler. Good crowd on hand on a kind of cloudy and cool afternoon here in St. Augustine. Anthony. There is Bryant Gibbons for three on the right wing. No good. And the rebound knocked away. And Stanley Taylor comes away with it. They had it for a moment. Didn't keep it. Anthony Moore drives. They knock it away. Zay Horton got it back and put it up and in. Zay with 10 points now. He's got 10 of our 30 points. 30-22. Zay Horton doing Zay Horton things in the first half. They run a little weave up top and throw the ball away down in the corner. An unforced turnover off the hands of Demerit Brown. And Brown is going to grab a seat on the bench as Lawrence Slim checks into the game. Into the front court, Brian Gibbons. Leaves it for Stanley Taylor. Cam Paulding, head of the key. Bounces it to Zay Horton. Low block, spins, shoots and scores. They cannot stop Zay Horton, and we're doing a great job getting 32-22 Cougars the half. BG, baseline drive, kicks it into the corner. Stanley Taylor drives, squares up in the lane, misses. No good, just inside the elbow. Rebound Flagler. Flagler's Ellis into the front court. 49 seconds left in what's been a very good half for the Cougars, leading it by 10. Flagler with the ball. Pickens drives to the hoop. And Anthony Moore blocked his shot off the glass. CSU comes away with it with 34 seconds. Flagler wanted a goaltending. And we've got a moving screen call on Cam Paulding. That might have been a makeup call.
25.
So with 27.3 seconds left, the shot clock is off. The Saints with the ball trailing by 10 as we near the end of the first half. Into the front court with 20 seconds. Derek Ellis. It's going to stop here and end the first half on a really good note. It's been an outstanding first half for the Cougars. 9 seconds. He's still out on the left wing. Now he starts a drive. 5 seconds. He's double teamed. He kicks it to Metzger. He misses an easy one. Cam Paulding gets the rebound, and that's the way the half will end. And an outstanding first half of basketball for Columbus State, as the Cougars will take a 32-22 lead into the locker room at the half here in St. Augustine. Columbus State University Cougar basketball is sponsored by Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU's Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. Cougar basketball on Cougar Sports TV. So an outstanding first half by CSU, leading it 32-22. Here are your first half stats. As CSU got off to a Flagler hit the first basket of the half and led 2-0. CSU then went on a 12-0 run. Flagler battled back and got it close, but CSU stretched it out, back out at the half and lead by 10. CSU 14 of 35 from the floor, 40%. Flagler's 8 of 23, 34%. Three-pointers, CSU 4 of 14, 28%. Flagler 2 of 10, 20%. CSU 0 for 2 at the line, Flagler 4 of 4. The Cougars out rebounding the Saints 21-16. And let's see, turnovers 11 for Flagler, just 5 for CSU. Cougars also have 9 steals and 1 block. And individually, it is Zay Horton with 12 points. And after Zay, 8 points for Bryant Gibbons, 4 for Anthony Moore, 5 for Carl Ivy, and 3 for Devin Porter Wilson. Hit a 3-pointer. For the Saints, yours Apitis has been held to no points in the first half. They've got a couple of guys with 6 points apiece, Chris Metzger and Demir Hadzic. And after that, 5 points from Ty Collier. And the Cougars lead it 32-22 here at the half in St. Augustine. We'll have some Cougar news and notes coming up for you in just a moment. Columbus State University Cougar basketball is sponsored by Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU's Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. Cougar basketball on Cougar Sports TV. We're at the half of the Columbus State basketball game. Time for Cougar news and notes. Don't forget that the women's basketball team getting set to host their team camp. Be here before you know it, as they made the announcement recently. The camp will take place from June 11th through the 13th on the campus of CSU. And each team is guaranteed 6 games with the 3-day option, or you can choose to participate on a per-day basis. The camp will run from 9 in the morning till 9 at night each day. Cost is $20 per player per day, with a discounted price for teams that select the 3-day option, which costs $50 per player. For more information or to register for the event, you can contact Michaela Raymondville, one of our assistant coaches, and you can check out her email. Go to CSUCougars.com and look in the staff directory, and you can find Mac's email, and you can get in touch with her. 2020 team summer camp information for the women. Now, also, the Columbus State men's team will be hosting a summer camp, and the team camp will take place from June 8th through the 10th, also on the campus of CSU. Each team is guaranteed 6 games with the 3-day option, or you can choose to participate on a per-day basis. The camp will run from 10 in the morning until 8 at night, and the cost is $20 per player per day, with the 3-day option totaling $60 per player. Now, for more information or to register for the event, you can get in touch with head coach Robert Moore. And again, go to the CSU Cougar website, CSUCougars.com, and look for the staff directory and get Robert's email, and you can get the information and register for that. So the men's and women's team camps coming up this summer at the CSU. Also, don't forget that the CSU Athletic Department is hosting its annual golf ball drop on Friday, May 1st at the Country Club of Columbus. And tickets cost just $20 for the chance of winning $3,000. Need to act fast because the tickets are limited. Only 1,000 are being sold and available for purchase inside the athletic offices at CSU inside the Lumpkin Center. Of course, that's the Frank Sonny Clements office suite, named after the former legendary coach, first coach of CSU basketball, and it's on the second floor of the Lumpkin Center. But again, the annual golf ball drop on Friday, May 1st at the Country Club of Columbus. Tickets cost just $20 for the chance of winning $3,000, and we're only selling 1,000, so you have to get your tickets, and you'll have a better chance when you do. And speaking of great events coming up, 2-time Olympic softball pitcher and gold medalist Jenny Finch is coming to Columbus. CSU announcing that Finch will be the keynote speaker at the CSU Athletics 5th annual Girls in the Game Luncheon. And that will be on March 26th inside the Lumpkin Center. And following the luncheon, Finch will host a softball clinic at Cougar Field. Launched in 2015, the Girls in the Game mission is to advance and support Columbus State University female student athletes, allowing them to reach their full potential academically and athletically, while empowering them to become leaders in life. The Girls in the Game luncheon brings together those who are passionate about supporting sports programs for female student athletes. And we've got the finalists named for the scholarship. The female student athletes recognized for their outstanding achievement, both in their sports and in the classroom. And they'll be a big part of the events coming up on March 26th. Now, Jenny Finch was a member of the 2004 Olympic gold medal USA softball team, as well as a silver medalist at the 2008 Olympic Games. And in 2009, she was named the USA Softball Player of the Year. And today she serves as an ambassador for the game of softball and for female athletes. And so, again, don't forget, go ahead and get your tickets. Go to CSUCougars.com, follow the link, and you can get your tickets right there to see Jenny Finch. And that will be very, very exciting as she comes. And we've had great speakers at the Girls in the Game event, and this year is no exception. We are at the half of the Columbus State basketball game, and we'll be back with more coming up here on Cougar Sports TV. Columbus State University Cougar basketball is sponsored by Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU's Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. Cougar basketball on Cougar Sports TV. We're at the half, and CSU leading 32-22 over Flagler College here in St. Augustine. Earlier today, the Lady Cougars go to overtime and beat the Saints 84-75. So a nice overtime win for the Lady Cougars here today. And the big game of the day in women's basketball in the Peach Belt had unbeaten in the league Lander at North Georgia. North Georgia with 2 losses, one of those to Lander at Lander. And North Georgia wins today up in Dahlonega 70-53. So a big win there. Lander's first loss in the league. And North Georgia 1 game back of them now. And the way the conference tournament is set up this year, the quarterfinal games will be played at the higher seeds for both men and women. And then the final 4 for the both men and the women will be at the home of the women's highest seed remaining. So that was a big game today in regards of that up there. And so the women's championship is still up for grabs. And we told you that the CSU baseball team won again today. They defeated North Carolina Pembroke 11-6. The Cougars have taken the first 2 games of the series and go for the 3-game sweep. And that will be tomorrow. And that will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. Other halftime scores, Augusta leading Pembroke 34-30 at Augusta. And I'm looking, and that's the only score that the Peach Belt has posted right here. So, but we're at the half and about ready to get the second half underway. We'll take one final short break and come back with the Cougars getting ready to start the second half, up by 10 here on Cougar Sports TV. Columbus State University Cougar basketball is sponsored by Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU's Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. Cougar basketball on Cougar Sports TV. And we want to thank all of our sponsors for being with us and supporting Columbus State University and the student athletes of CSU. All right, so need a good, strong start to the second half with a 32-22 CSU lead. And CSU has the ball first. Flagler scored the first basket of the game, and CSU went on a 12-0 run. The Saints cut into it, got back to within 5, and CSU able to pull out and lead by 10 as we start the second half. Brian Gibbons between the circles. Zay Horton had a great first half with 12 points. Drives in from the side, off the glass, good. Zay Horton, what a move. They have absolutely no answer for Zay Horton to this point. 34-22. That was a video game move by Zay from the right elbow to the glass. Man, is he fun to watch. Head of the key is Pickens. Gets it down to Big Metzger. Baseline against Cam Paulding. Fumbled it, got it back, muscles his way in and scores. Man, he is a load. 34-24. I'm at courtside right next to the CSU bench, and at times a little difficult seeing. Zay Horton for 2, a long 2, just inside the arc, good again. Zay with 16 of our 36 points, 36-24. Mid-range jumper off the glass, good by Brown, his first basket of the game. Well, keep finding Zay Horton. Zay's got it behind the arc on the right side. Zay. Oh, they call Zay Horton for a push-off. That's a bad call. Happened right in front of me. First foul on Zay. Man, didn't look like anything there at all. Ellis, Metzger, low block, right side. Good pass to Zapaitis. Drives into the paint. He's fouled on the way up and will go to the line to shoot 2. Zapaitis was shut out in that half. Foul was on Anthony Moore, his second. Getty Zapaitis averages 18.9 points coming in here, and he has yet to score and still has not, as he missed the free throw. Zapaitis back to the line, and there's his first point of the day. Cougars have done a great job on him to this point. 36-27 CSU. 2 minutes into the second half. Zay Horton at the head of the key. Kicks it to BG on the left wing. Zay Horton being guarded by Ellis. Anthony Moore gets the ball. A long 2 up top right side. No good. In and out. Rebound Saints. Baseline. Metzger loses it. BG gets it to Anthony Moore, and a 2-handed dunk by Anthony Moore. It's 38-27 Cougars, 17:30 to play. And a drive and a whistle and a foul on Brian Gibbons. Second foul on BG. Robert didn't like that one. I wasn't crazy about it myself, to be honest with you. Robert counts more than I do, and he doesn't count at all, according to the officials. So that's just the way it is. Kick it out on the wing for 3. Good. Pickens. His second long one of the day. 38-30 Cougars. Zay Horton right side. This time Ellis won't let him drive to the hoop, so he kicks it out on the wing. Reverses it over to JT. Zay Horton, mid-post right side, gets it to Anthony Moore. Free throw line jumper, good. Good job by Zay to give it up to Anthony. Anthony with 8 points now. 40-30, back the other way. They get it The big Metzger down there. Down low, and he lays it up and in. 40-32 Cougars. 16 and a half minutes to play. We're in St. Augustine, Florida. Anthony Moore down in the corner. JT for three. No, but he hustled and got his own rebound. Saved it to BG. Gets it to Anthony Moore. Reverse layup. Good. Great pass by Bryant Gibbons and a great reverse layup by Ant. 10-point Cougar lead again. Pickens for three up top. No. Cam Paulding rebound. Outlet Bryant Gibbons. Bryant Gibbons gets it to JT on the wing for three. Shot it long. And a whistle and a over-the-back rebounding foul on Zay Horton. And that'll get us to the media timeout. 15:55 to play. Cougars still with that 10-point lead intact. 42-32 here on Cougar Sports TV. Columbus State University Cougar basketball is sponsored by Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU's Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. Cougar basketball on Cougar Sports TV. Fans, don't forget to go online at CSUCougars.com and get your tickets to see two-time Olympic softball pitcher and gold medalist Jenny Finch. She's the keynote speaker in the 5th annual Girls in the Game luncheon. It'll be held in the Lumpkin Center, and that will be on March 26th. CSUCougars.com. Follow the link, and you can get your tickets to see Jenny Finch. All right. Cougars up by 10. Saints with the ball. 15:49 to play. Drive. Ellis kicks it out to Ewers-Zapaitis for three. Good. Well, the first field goal for Ewers-Zapaitis, and it's a long one. 42-35. He averaged 18.9 coming in. He was shut out at the half. He's got 4 now. We got a foul away from the basketball as Ellis is trying to stay with Zay Horton, who's been red hot, and Ellis was holding him. Cam Paulding comes out, and Hunter Preston checks in for CSU. Bryant Gibbons on the baseline just to the left of his basket. And looking to get it in, and he does to Carl Ivey. Anthony Moore up top. BG right wing. BG back to Anthony Moore. Jumper is no good. Mid-range jumper right side. Flagler with a rebound. Flagler was down by 12 in this half. They're back to 7 now. Metzger backing down. Hunter Preston off the glass, good. Dick Metzger is just so big and strong. He gets the ball, he's tough. 42-37. So the 12-point lead is down to 5 for the second time today. 14:44 to play. Hunter Preston kicks it out to BG. Short corner jumper, good on the left side. Ryan Gibbons with a short corner jumper. 44-37. Cougars on top. Up top, Ewers-Zapaitis being guarded. Zay Horton comes over and picks him up now. Down in the corner, Brown for three, no. Backside rebound, Anthony Moore. Anthony, head of the key, gives it up to Bryant Gibbons. BG drives, Pass to Hunter Preston off his hands in the paint and out of bounds. Turnover. 13:59 to play. Cougars trying to win one on the road, leading 44-37. Metzger gets it and dunks it in the paint. Hunter Preston went for the steal and missed it. And Metzger made him pay with the dunk. He's got 14. 5-point CSU lead. Carl Ivey behind the arc on the left side. Bryant Gibbons at the head of the key. Dribbles to the right side and rattles home a jumper. 46-39. BG with 12 points now. He had 8 in the first half. Kevin Porter Wilson goes to the scorer's table. Pickens up top left side for 3. Good. He's got 3 long ones now. And it's 46-42 CSU. So what was a 12-point lead is now down to 4. 13 minutes to go. Brian Gibbons, mid-range jumper baseline, no good. The Saints grab the rebound. Long way to go in this one. Pickens will take another 3 and miss it, but he is fouled. Fouled by Brian Gibbons, and he will shoot 3.
He's ready to call it for the Saints is number 2, Alontae Pickens.
So Pickens will shoot 3. The first one is good. 46-43. And the next one is good. 46-44 Cougars. So the 12-point lead is all but gone with 12:45 to play. Anthony Moore, Hunter Preston come out for a breather. And Pickens goes for the hat trick. The third one is on the way, and it's good. He's got 12 points. Cougar lead down to 1. It was 12 here earlier in this half. Carl Ivey right wing. Bryant Gibbons up top left side. Devin Porter Wilson head of the key. Carl Ivey out on the wing to Bryant Gibbons. 10 on the shot clock. BG for 3. Yes, Bryant Gibbons. Stay hot, BG. Huge shot there. 49-45 Cougars. He had a hand in his face when he made that big shot. 12:08 to play. There's Pickens. He's hot. Look out. He drives in. Carl Ivey is on him. He kicks it around to Ellis. Gets it on the baseline. We double him down in the corner. Pass into Ellis and laid it up and in. That was a great pass from Collier.
With an assist from number 5, Tyler Collier.
Cougars by 2. I don't know how Collier made that pass. It was a brilliant pass. Brian Gibbons right wing. He's hot. BG up top. Devin Porter Wilson for 3. Shot it long, and we've got a rebounding foul on Flagler, and that will get us to the media timeout with 11:32 to play. And the Cougars up 49-47 here in St. Augustine. Columbus State University Cougar basketball is sponsored by Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU's Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. Cougar basketball on Cougar Sports TV. So the Cougar lead is 2. Flagler got back to within 1 a moment ago. Cougars led by 10 at the half, stretched it to 12 early in the second half. CSU with the ball on the baseline. Carl Ivy gets it in. Carl gets it back. Devin Porter Wilson gets it to Bryant Gibbons near the jump circle. Gibbons, free throw line jumper, no. Rebound Stanley Taylor, and he's fouled as he tried to put it back up and in. Great rebound by Tay. Foul was on Collier. And now Stanley Taylor out of Virginia goes to the line. The first free throw is good. Cougars up 50-47, looking for the doubleheader sweep here today. The women won in overtime. Next one by Tay is good. His first points of the game. 51-47 CSU. Long way to go still. 11:08 to play in regulation. Yorzapaitis, right elbow jumper, good. He's got 6 now. 51-49. BG in the logo. Devin Porter Wilson up top left side. Devin. DP gets it up to Tay. Tay, right elbow extended jumper, no good. Rebound Flagler. Head of the key, Brown for 3, in and out, no. But Collier got a rebound, stripped out of his hands, and he touched it last. Flagler fans didn't think much of that call. They're like the rest of us. They don't get a vote either. There is Zay Horton, a jump hook on the just outside the lane. Good save. 53-49. Driving back the other way. Reverse layup in a hurry. Good and a foul. The basket counts. Foul on Stanley Taylor. And Brown with the basket. And it's 53-51. Cougars, and Brown will go to the line to try to complete the three-point play, and he does. So for the second time in the half, the Saints are back to within 1. 3 starters go back to the scorer's table for CSU. Zay Horton post up, low block, drew the foul. I mean, they just can't contain him at all. They've got to go to him more. Foul on Collier again. Zay's going to shoot 2. He's got 18. He had 12 in the first half. And the all-conference player, free throw is perfect. Into the game comes Anthony Moore, Jalen Thomas, and Cam Paulding. Zay Horton and Bryant Gibbons stay out there. And Zay goes back to the line with 9:55 to play. And the free throw is good. Cougars up by 4. Saints with the ball. Pickens to Brown up top for 3. No. Collier with a rebound outside of the paint. Puts it on the floor against Cam Paulding. Goes to the hoop and scores. Collier's a nice player.
pass for the Saints.
55-52. 54, I beg your pardon. Back to one again. 9:18 to play. Cougars by one with the ball. Anthony Moore, JT, Cam Paulding, Brian Gibbons. 5 on the shot clock. BG drives. A runner on the baseline, no. Tipped up by Anthony Moore, no. But a whistle and a foul on Flagler. On the rebound. Foul was on Ellis. Not in the bonus yet. One more foul, and CSU will shoot the bonus the rest of the way. This time they'll get the ball with a 1-point lead, 55-54. 9:03 to play. We get it in to Anthony Moore, to BG, to JT, behind the arc on the left side. Moore sets a screen for him. Cam Paulding, high post, right side. Zay Horton, head of the key, gives it up to Anthony Moore. And drives to the hoop, and he pushed off. He made a basket, but he pushed off. That's a good call. That was pretty obvious. That's 3 fouls on Anthony. So the Cougars are leading by 1, but the Saints have the ball with 8:39 to play. Looking for their first lead in a long time, since they led 2-0. Collier, jump hook, missed it. Backside rebound, Zay Horton. Zay Horton into the front court, between the legs, into the paint. A little floater, good. Zay Horton, my goodness. Between the legs, dribble in the paint, and then a little soft floater. 57-54. CSU, and the whistle and a foul on JT back on the other end. Sometimes you run out of words to describe Zay Horton's play when he's having one of these games, and he is having one of these games today, thankfully. Free throw is good by Ellis. 57-55. Ellis made the second one. And the Saints are back to within 1. They pulled within 1 several times. Haven't been able to take a lead since falling behind big. Brian Gibbons, left wing. Cam Paulding way out on the baseline. Back to BG. Puts it on the floor. Pulls a 3. Misses it. Rebound, Ewers Zapaitis. And again, they've got a chance to take a lead. For the first time, as I said, since the first basket of the game. 7.5 minutes to play. Up top, Pickens for 3. Good. He's got 3 long ones in the second half. They've got their biggest lead of the game. It's now 2. 7:13 to play. Anthony Moore, short jumper, good. Timeout, Columbus State. Anthony Moore with a big answer after they take a lead with a 3. And it'll turn into a full timeout. We'll take it in a tie game, 59-59 with 7:09 to play. Columbus State University Cougar basketball is sponsored by Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU's Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. Cougar basketball on Cougar Sports TV.
Sports medicine and robotic surgery.
Well, tie game, 59-59, 7:09 to play. Cougars have 2 timeouts remaining. The Saints have 3 remaining. That three-pointer at the 7:20 mark gave them their first lead since 2-0. It's tied now, and the Saints have the ball. 7 minutes to play. Grab a lucky spot wherever you're listening and see if we can't win one on the road. There's Pickens. He's been red hot in the second half. He's got it way out on the left wing with 12 seconds. Puts it on the floor against Zay Horton. Can't get in. Metzger, 6 seconds. Hands it to Ewers-Zapaitis. Jumper, no. Air ball just inside the arc. Into the hands of CSU. Zay Horton back the other way. Free throw line jumper rimmed out on him. Cam Paulding with a rebound, and he's fouled on the way back up. And will go to the line to shoot 2. Man, that's a big rebound by Cam Paulding with 6:31 to go. Foul was on Ewers-Zapaitis. That's his first. And that'll get us to a media timeout with 6:31 to play. And we're still tied at 59. Columbus State University Cougar basketball is sponsored by Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU's Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. Cougar basketball on Cougar Sports TV. Well, it's 59-59. Neither side has scored in about a minute and a half. Cam Paulding at the free throw line to try to change that. And Cam looking for his first point of the day, shooting 2. And the first one is no good. So here comes the second one. And that one is good. Front of the rim and kicked up over and in. And the Cougars have a 1-point lead with 6:27 to play. Ewers-Zapaitis to Pickens. Metzger high post. Kicks it in the corner. Ewers-Zapaitis for 3. Good. 62-60 Flagler. You knew Ewers-Zapaitis wasn't going to be quiet all day. He's got 9. That's still half of what he averages. Cougars are down by 2, 5:57. They've got the ball. JT, Anthony Moore puts it on the floor. Jumper outside the lane, no. Backside rebound goes to the Saints. You got to be careful right here now. They've got a 2-point lead in the ball. Don't let them spread it. Don't let them run it out on you. Metzger at the head of the key. Metzger puts it on the floor. Going to hand it to Ewers-Zapaitis, who drives in, and a blocking foul called on Jalen Thomas. That's a good call. JT so good at drawing charges, but not that time. So Ewers-Zapaitis will go to the line to shoot 2. And the first one is no good. Thank you very much. He is 1 for 3 from the free throw line. Cam Paulding out and Hunter Preston in. He's an 80% free throw shooter coming in, and he's 1 for 3 today. And he missed that one, and the rebound goes to Hunter Preston. Wow. 2 huge misses by Getty Ewers-Apidis. We need a bucket. Down by 2, 5:18 to play with the ball. Say Horton. Hunter Preston up top. Hands it to Bryant Gibbons. Drives to the free throw line. Gets it to Zay Horton. Cutting to the basket. Laid it up and in. Good. Zay Horton with 24 points. Great pass from Bryant Gibbons. 62-62. 4:59 to go. Great job by BG on that possession. Metzger on the wing. Puts it on the floor against Hunter Preston. Drives and scores. Saints up 64-62. The big guy with 16 points, 10 in the second half. We're down by 2 again, 4:33. Backdoor cut, Hunter Preston, and the ball is knocked out of his hands by Flagler, and a turnover. The Saints with a 2-point lead into the front court. 4:22 to play. Need to get a stop. Brown to the baseline. Pickens, baseline drive. We won't let him in. Closed out on him. Good job there. Pickens drives into the paint. Up top is Ellis. 6 on the shot clock. Metzger against Hunter Preston. Off the glass, good. Boy, the big guy is just muscling his way in, leaning on Hunter Preston. Hunter can't stop him. 66-62 Flagler, 3:49 to go, and the ball knocked out of bounds on the far side. Touch last by CSU. Flagler will have it when we come back from the final media timeout. 3:45 to play. Saints up 66-62. Columbus State University Cougar basketball is sponsored by Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU's Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. Cougar basketball on Cougar Sports TV. Well, here's your game reset. 66-62 Flagler, 3:45 to go. And Flagler has the ball. They trailed by 12 in this half. Got a 4-point lead now. Both sides shooting the bonus. Got to get a stop, man. Into the front court is Ellis. Ellis to Pickens, who's been red hot. Pickens way out on the wing. Up top to Brown. Brown at the head of the key. Left side, fumbled it away, got it back. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Brown head of the key for 3. Good, man. 69-62. Brown hit the three-pointer. Anthony Moore back the other way. Good turnaround on the baseline. 69-64. Saints 3:03 to play. Got to get a stop. Down by 5. We're down by 7 a moment ago. Got to get a stop. Brown, Metzger against Cam Paulding. Up top, Brown. 9 on the shot clock. Brown for 3. No. Cam Paulding with it. Cougars down by 5. 2:41 to go with the ball. Bryant Gibbons a drive. Dishes it off to Cam Paulding, who laid it up and in. 69-66. Saints lead down to 3. Cam Paulding with his first field goal. A heck of a time for that. Saints with a 3-point lead in the ball. Head of the key is Ellis. Bounce pass to Metzger. Layup good. And timeout Flagler.
Timeout on the court, Saints.
Well, they let the big guy, Metzger, cut to the bucket. And they laid it up and in, and it's 71-66 Saints with 2:14 to play, and we'll hold it right here. Fans, want to remind you that the CSU Athletics Department is hosting its annual golf ball drop on Friday, May 1st at the Country Club of Columbus. Tickets cost just $20 for the chance of winning $3,000. Act fast because tickets are limited. They're only selling 1,000. That will increase your odds of winning, and you can pick up the tickets at the Lumpkin Center inside the CSU Athletic Department and Frank Sonny Clement's office suite on the second floor of the Lumpkin Center. Well, the Cougars are down by 5 with the ball with 2:14 to go. Both sides have 2 timeouts remaining. A lot's going to happen here in the final 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
All right, Saints fans. If you want excitement this afternoon,
Can the Cougars save themselves on the road? They let us roll the ball to the midcourt line, save a few seconds. BG kicks it in the corner to Zay Horton. Zay drives, and a blocking foul on Ellis. And that's going to send Zay to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. With 2:07 to go, we only used up 7 seconds. Part of that was they let us roll it to the midcourt line. I never like to see defenses do that, unless it helps us, of course, and it did, but I just don't agree with that philosophy. The free throw by Zay is good. He's got 25 points, 71-67. And Zay hit them both. 71-68. The lead by the Saints down to 3 with 2 minutes to go. Grab a lucky spot back home or wherever you're watching and listening. Ewers Zapaitis in the jump circle. 1:53 on the clock. 14 on the shot clock. Saints by 3. Backdoor cut to Ewers Zapaitis. Laid it up and in. 73-68. Flagler, 141. Anthony Moore, jumper in the paint, good. Timeout, Columbus State. Another big jumper in the paint from about 5 or 6 by Anthony Moore. Gets us back to within 3 with 1:34 to go. Timeout, Columbus State. 30-second timeout. So Anthony Moore got back the 2 points where Ewers Zapaitis went backdoor and laid it in. And the Saints have a 3-point lead and the ball again with 94 seconds to go. Well, this has turned into a heck of a game here this afternoon. I'm glad I have a full bottle of antacid with me. All right, Ewers Zapaitis hands it to Ellis. 90 seconds to go. Flagler's got a 3-point lead and the ball. Ellis to the baseline. Drives into the paint, through it. Backs it out. 17 on the shot clock. Ewers Zapaitis, head of the key. We got to get a stop. Got to get a stop, you guys. Ewers Zapaitis with 1:12. He fumbled it. Cam Paulding has it. JT in the front court. We're down by 3 with 1:06. Zay Horton, a floater in the lane. Good. 73-72. Flagler, 59 seconds. Zay Horton with a floater. 55-54. Saints by 1. Cougars with the ball. Get a stop, you guys. The ball game riding on this possession, maybe. Ellis behind the arc on the right side. Ellis in some trouble. Ellis still in trouble. Is he going to finally get it to Metzger on the baseline? 7 seconds. They threw it away. Zay Horton comes away with it. 33 seconds. We're down by 1. Brian Gibbons in the front court. Brian Gibbons, we're down by 1. 26 seconds. 4 less than that on the shot clock. Coach Moore says hold it. BG driving into the paint. BG to Zay Horton. Tried to get a 3. They knock it out of his hands. He got it back. And a whistle and a timeout called by CSU with 14.8 seconds. We'll hold it here. Full timeout. We'll hold it here with 14.8 seconds left in the game. 11 seconds on the shot clock. The Cougars with the ball. Zay Horton tried to get a 3 off. And they knocked it out of his hands. He got it back. And when he got it back, Coach Moore immediately called a timeout. So it's going to come down to this. The Cougars are out of timeouts. There's 14.8 seconds remaining in the game. 11 seconds on the shot clock. And the Cougars are trailing 73 to 72. So grab that lucky spot wherever you are and see if we can make a bucket to take a lead. If we worked it all the way down to near the end of the shot clock, that would only leave a little less or right around 4 seconds for Flagler. We'll have it over on the far side. Remember, we're out of timeouts. We're down by 1. 14.8 seconds to play. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Zay Horton gets it into Anthony Moore. BG up top. I'll give you the shot clock. 9 seconds. Zay's in the paint. Turn around off the glass. Good! Cougars lead 74-73. Into the front court with 4 seconds. Ellis high off the glass. Missed it. And rebound Zay Horton. And the Cougars win. Cougars win. Cougars win. Ellis missed a layup. It was contested, but he missed it. It would have given them the win. But it fell off, and in the scramble, the horn goes off, and the Cougars have won it. Zay Horton finishes with 30 points on the day. None bigger than that last bucket. And the Cougars win it by the score of 74-73. And we'll be back and talk with Coach Robert Moore coming up here in just a moment. Columbus State University Cougar basketball is sponsored by Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU's Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. Cougar basketball on Cougar Sports TV.
Yeah, I don't have nobody.
Well, the Cougars have won it 74-73. Zay Horton with a little jumper in the lane with about 8 seconds to go. 30 points for Zay on the afternoon. And the Cougars hang on defensively and win it 74-73. And Coach Robert Moore joins us on the post-game show. Had him all the way.
You would
Man.
think so, but anytime you play a game in the Peach Belt, and I had some great games here at Flagler, I can go back and remember when Vic Ellis hit the shot from almost half court for us to make the conference tournament. So Chad wanted to do a great job with those guys. They came to play. We held them to 22 points in the first half, so you would think we would get away from them, but Flagler got so many guys that could score, so it was really tough for us. And glad Zay Horton is on my team.
Oh, what a day Zay had. He had 30 points. He had 18 in the second half, and, of course, none bigger than the shot in the lane. You call timeout with 14.8 seconds, 11 on the shot clock. You had Zay inbound the ball. What'd you draw up?
We got a play we call slice, where we let Zay takes it out. Anthony Moore sprints to the ball, and we throw it back to BG, and BG dribbles it over toward our bench and let Zay go straight to the post. And as you've seen all night, he was really scoring in the post, and we thought that was our best chance of winning. If they would have doubled him, he would have kicked it back out to BG, but he made a great bucket in there.
And then they had a chance. They came in, and Ellis got to the glass. It got to the rim, but it fell off the rim, and they missed it.
Yeah, and that's the same play he had against Augusta and missed it. And the guy almost made the tip in. So sometimes these things have to go in your favor. We gave one away at North Georgia at home, and now we win one of these games. You think our guys can get some momentum going back to the house on Wednesday?
Well, this would have been an easy one to lose, quite frankly, after we had a 12-point lead and gave it away in the second half. But the guys showed some gumption today, didn't they?
I told them all the time, Scott, we can't have you don't want to do the same thing you did on Wednesday night where we had a replay almost of this game. And I thought our guys just really played with a lot of pride and intensity on the defensive side of the ball, so we couldn't give it away. Where at North Georgia, I think we kind of sunk in and with the flow. So I just really like my bunch for just staying at it and keep pushing themselves.
Just want to add that Anthony Moore had 16 points. Bryant Gibbons had 15 points today. So that was a pretty good trio right there.
Oh, yeah, and I tell these guys all the time, no matter if you're playing at Flagler, at Georgia College, any road game in the Peach Belt is tough, and you got to come ready to play. And I'm just proud of those guys in that locker room.
I'm going to ask you a question that everybody on planet Earth has the correct answer. Who is the Pepsi player of the game?
Hey, Zay Horton, no other.
Zay Horton with 30 points, including the game-winning jumper in the lane with 8 seconds to go. And the Cougars hang on for a 1-point win. By the way, my friend, that now ties you with the legendary Frank Sonny Clements for second place on the all-time CSU wins list.
Oh, Scott, if I can ever be talked about in that company of guys like Herbert Green and Sonny Clements. Sonny Clements came to so many games until his health got a little, he couldn't come anymore because of his health. He's a great guy. I love him to death, and, I'm just glad to be in that company with him.
Clayton State comes in on Wednesday night.
That's always a rival game. We want all the students to come out, and we'll have our guys up at the cafeteria on Tuesday and Wednesday trying to encourage the students to come out because that's a big game for us, and it was a great game at Clayton State that we had to hold on to the lead to win. So I want everybody to come out. The women had a big game today without some of their starters and played really well. So I think Clayton State is one of those teams that's following them in the 4th spot. So it's just be some good basketball on Wednesday night.
All right, my friend, go be with your team. Congratulations.
Right,
Coach Robert Moore, the Cougars win a thriller here today, 74-73. And again, Clayton State in at the Lumpkin Center, Herbert Green Court on Wednesday for the doubleheader. 5:30 for the women, 7:30 for the men. Lady Cougars win in overtime, 84-75. The men win with a last few seconds jumper and hang on at the end to win it. So a nice afternoon for Columbus State here in St. Augustine, Florida. Once again, your final score, CSU 74, Flagler 73. And on this winning afternoon, this is Scott Miller saying so long, everyone.